Hello, welcome back to Let's Cross Swords. We're looking at another listener crossword today. This one's Contrasting Directions by Demoniacal. If you're new to the channel, welcome, firstly, and listener crosswords may be something unfamiliar to you. So a quick recap, they are basically crosswords that are published in the Times newspaper every week, and they are more difficult than your typical crosswords in general, and they're thematic and they have extra elements of puzzle solving involved. And important to note is the entire dictionary is fair game, and so we have the Chambers Dictionary app on my phone, which I will pop up when we need it. Okay, I think we should get straight into it and read this preamble. So, in 27 clues, which seems like most clues, the wordplay omits one letter of the answer, which is entered normally. Okay, so the wordplay will give us all but one. Yep, fine, I understand that. Crossing entries never have their unclued letter in the same cell. Fine. The first letters of the remaining 11 clues spell the two-word origin of the theme. The first letters of the clues, not the answers or anything like that. Okay. So we want to keep track of clues which don't have a missing letter in the wordplay. Fine. After filling the grid, so from now on I assume this is just endgame stuff. Each unclued letter must have a line added to its cell. Okay. From the southwest corner to the northeast, if a clue that omits it begins with a consonant, north, west to southeast otherwise. Right, okay, so again it's about the first letters of the clues that determine how we draw the line in. Okay, that's quite interesting. The lines will form 8 groups of 2 kinds. Then 8 letters must be moved according to the theme, leaving blank cells and replacing other letters to form the theme's name, which must be highlighted. Okay. Sounds like quite a complicated endgame, but we'll see what that means when we get to it, really. It's quite hard to make kind of heads or tails of kind of at the outset, which is fine. And then we're told that the Chambers Dictionary is the primary reference, and that is standard for the listener. So I think we should just crack straight on with this then, shall we? One across. Maine's excellent fish. Traps cut fish. So straight away, Maine's suggests to me this could be an American word that can be indicated basically by any American location, saying that if you were in Maine, you might use this term to mean excellent. Can't think. I don't know. What's a specific Americanism for like excellent? I don't know, like rad or something. Maybe. And fish. I mean, there's loads of fish. Traps cut fish. So maybe a fish going around, like holding another fish that's cut short, or the definition might be fish, and we're just looking for a specific fish. I think there's too much we don't know in that clue, so let's look at another one. Opera's final tone had reflected Poets' Award. Okay. Poets could be suggesting that we're looking for a poetic form of a word meaning award. Some words are marked in the dictionary as being poetic. They're kind of used to give like whatever meter is needed in the poems. They're kind of modifications of useful words. Reflected, something backwards. We could be looking for a particular opera, which means, well, this could be difficult because that won't be in the dictionary. Yeah. Not sure how to break this one down just yet. Okay. Alternatives. Following wine, re-endorsements. Lots of things could be wine, like specific wines, I don't know, Pinot, Merlot, that sort of thing. I think following can just be F, but this could just mean something meaning alternatives going after a word meaning wine. What are alternatives, choices, options? Oh, that's actually a thought. Okay. If alternatives are options, so wine can be red, and I'm thinking red makes sense because if the definition is re-endorsements, it's quite likely to be still be re-something. So if it's red options, that's 10 letters. So re-adoptions, maybe? Can an adoption mean an endorsement, I think is the question. So does adopt mean endorse? To endorse or approve. That's the 8th definition there. Okay, so I think we've got our first answer. This is so readoptions and I just need to think this through, right? So the A, I'll put that in a sec because we're going to have to keep track of these unclued letters. Re-add options. Okay, maybe I'll just do these in another color. Okay, I want to look at maybe one down because we've got a letter now. Anybody's heart. That sounds like B to me straight away. The middle letter of anybody. Angry as a naughty kid. Naughty could be an anagram indicator. I mean, so if this is BR, a naughty kid is a brat. Okay, so bratty is as a naughty kid. Yeah, so angry for ratty. I think that works. So be ratty. And there's no extra letter or no missing letter from the wordplay there. Yeah, okay, so we actually need to keep track of the first letter of this clue. I'll just write that there so we remember that this is going to be part of, spelling out the theme. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, 12 across, new on Saturday, could be sat, partly, about, how it is today. Partly could be a hidden word thing, but I don't see. Oh no, partly about is a hidden word backwards. So beginning with A, you would get as now, and that means how it is today. Okay, nice. But once again, that wasn't missing any letters from the wordplay. So this is another one we want to keep track of. Okay, good start. That's 2 out of 11 of those already. Okay, I want to have a look at 2 down then, because we've got 2 letters. Northern European language for Ed helpful about American parts. Okay, Northern can be N. This could just be a Northern European language for Ed helpful. So for Ed, it tends to mean it's Edmund Spencer, because those are indicated in Chambers if it's a word that he coined. So for Ed, it probably means it's a Spencerian word. So maybe a Spencerian word for helpful about American parts. About could mean backwards. It can also mean RE. It can mean C or CA. It can mean loads of things. American can be AM or US. Parts, I don't know. This one seems really difficult. I'm just going to look at 3 instead. Scatters seed over mother badger. Or scatters seed could be sows. Over can be O or something backwards, but sows does fit in this direction. Mother badger. I mean, can a female badger be a sow? So there's the scatter seeds. There we go, female of various other animals, e.g. the badger. So hold on. So maybe mother badger is just sow. But then we need sows with an S. Well, okay, actually, so could be scatter seed over, not necessarily just scatter seed. So hold on, the whole. So scatter seed over is sows. So I guess there's just an extra S that isn't in the wordplay then. So we'll just do that in red. Why not? Yeah, I'm okay with that. 4 is another short one where we've got a letter. So utter with scorn for the old, turning heads of the equally skeptical. What heads of the equally skeptical would be TES. Turning them would be SET. So could it be spet, where the P is not in the wordplay? Archaic form of spit. So yeah. Utter with scorn for the old, so saying it's archaic. Yeah, happy with that. So spet, but also this P in this case was unclued. So, or not in the wordplay. So let's make that one red. Okay. I'm just noticing one across now. Got a lot of letters and bass is a fish. So what's going on here? You've got bass. Is bass containing something? Cupfish? So you would have 3 letters left over. No, sorry, 2 letters left over, so that would be a 3-letter fish that gets cut. Although I guess it could be a 2-letter fish with 1 letter just being unclued. Oh, badass. That's an American. Excellent. So hold on. So we've got the ass from bass. So what's inside? Like DA? A dab is a fish. So fine. So if that's right, then there's nothing extra that's not in the wordplay then. Bass with dab cut inside it. So this then is another one that we need to keep track of the first letter of the clue. Okay. Definitely a good start in this corner. Oh, Northern European language could just be Danish. About American parts. So, I mean, American could be just A, I think, but I don't understand that. Okay, I think come back to that. Let's look at 16. Note provided concerning Italian silver coin. Okay, a lot of these things can mean a lot. So note, I think can be N, but it can also be anything from like do, re, mi, so, fa, lo, do, la, T. I lost track of where I was in that scale. Anyway, so it could be T at the beginning. Provided is sometimes if. Concerning can be re. Italian can be IT. Silver can be AG. There's loads of things these can be. So we may be looking at a coin. I can't think of one beginning with T off the top of my head. Yeah, again, there's so much that could be going on in that clue. I'm going to look at 15 because we've got that ST in there. So goddess, shedding hard, insect form. Goddess that fits there. That could be Hestia. But it says shedding hard. So is it a goddess and it's going to lose an H? And then what would insect form mean? I mean, could it be an anagram of insect? I don't think form really works as an anagram indicator, but it's just I noticed this ST obviously. But then what's the definition? That doesn't really work. Unless, like, insect form is a word like Hestia that would have another H, and maybe one of the letters is just not part of that wordplay. Oh, but you know what? Hestia doesn't really make sense after this Dan, where we think it's probably Danish, right? So if it is an I, um, yeah, I'm just not sure. Could be some sort of biological term to do with insects that I just don't really know. Okay, we will look at 6 down. Short of take time, director turned in the morning miniature scene. Okay, there's loads going on there. Short of take time. Time is often T, but there's a lot of short words for time. Director tends to be DIR. Turned, something going backwards, maybe like rid, could begin with RID maybe. In the morning, probably AM. And then miniature scene. Miniature scene feels like the definition then. A diorama is a miniature scene. Okay, that feels right because this director thing. How do we get there? So, turned in the morning could be the MA at the end because it's AM backwards. So then you need what, like DIAR? Wait, is it spelled with an A or no? Diorama. No, it's spelled with an O. Yeah. Okay. So DIORA we need from short of take time director. So you can get DIOR from the kind of outer letters of director. Ooh, I think REC, R-E-C. Is it not that? Oh, abbreviated. Yeah, I thought so. So it's short for recipe, which means take. So take time could be RECT. Yeah, so if director is short of that, i.e. it's removed, it becomes DIOR. And then, okay, and then we get our turned in the morning, so MA. So, okay, fine. So the other A must be not in the wordplay. Okay, that was really tricky. That's quite a nice clue, that. Not how you kind of expect director to be used in that, so it's nice. Right. Why not look at 7? It's another short one. Idiot. Cut. Head of Naphtali. Seems like an N. Son of Judah. Son can be S. N. So what's a short word for an idiot? Often it's like ass. Um, hmm. Or an oaf. Oh, that is a character. Yeah, yeah, I think this is right. So if you take oaf, meaning idiot, and cut it, you get OA, and then the N is ahead of Naphtali. And Onan, I am pretty sure that is correct. He's the son of Judah. So that would just mean this first N was unclued. Right. Oh, sorry. Still got the dictionary up. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay, if you couldn't see that, it might have been covered up. Sorry, that was idiot, cut head of Naphtali. So yeah, hopefully that's clear. Right. So this one across the top was potentially an opera or a poetic word for an award. Could opera's final just be A, though? Opera's final A. Tone had. Had can just be a D because it is like used as a contraction. So if this is add, because so if that's what the D is, then it's probably maybe tone had going backwards. So pretty much we would need a word meaning tone going backwards here. So add like a sound or something. Yeah. It feels like it's probably the right track, but don't know what that word is just yet. 13. Your uncle consumes gutted marmots. Gutted marmots could be an MS. Like remove the insides from it. I guess consumes could be what's gutted, which would be CS, but then your uncle. There are words meaning uncle, but I can't think what that is. Okay, not sure. What have we got? We've got an M in 21 across. Once took US president worthy of nomination. So if it's worthy of nomination, thinking it could be something able, and that makes sense because Abe is a US president, right? Abraham Lincoln. So if you had something able, then maybe the L would just be unclued, but from the wordplay. Worthy of nomination. Nameable? So is nam a word? It is a word. What do we need it to mean? Took. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so the past tense of nim is nam, which is obsolete, and it means to take. So took, yeah. So once meaning in the past, took, nam. Okay, yeah, that's tricky. So if I name an Abe, and then the L does not include. Very nice. So 18 down is really short. A certain Macbeth's grandchild grips knight. Okay, Macbeth's. Maybe that could mean like it's a Shakespearean word, but actually maybe it could just mean Scottish because Macbeth's Scottish. Knights can be N, and we have got an N. So something going around N. A certain. Well, one can mean a certain. So is OE. a word that we want here. It is. It's a Scottish grandchild. So, yeah, and that one doesn't have any missing letters. So the A is again something we want to keep track of. What would be good to go for? 22 is another short one. Trouble associate director. Trouble can mean ale. But then what do I do with that? Isn't, well, is an associate director an AD? Just check. AD. Don't see that. No, I hadn't heard of that as being an abbreviation. So, I mean, is there a way we can make ale from this? Don't quite see it. Oh, trouble could also be a do. Does that could work? Okay. So if A can be associate, try to bring the dictionary up here. Do we have A for associate? We do. And then if D can be director, I think it can. I mean, DIR is usually director, but yes. So we get AD from associate director, and then it's just the O that's not clued. So that works. Let's see. 8. Oh, this is a really long one. Tending to vibrate, aced violist gets jazzy. So my instinct is that gets jazzy is an anagram indicator. Yeah, because so ace violist is 10 letters. So the most natural reading of this is that we want an anagram of ace violist with an extra letter. And we get tending to vibrate. Oscillate is the vibrate. Like oscillatory, something like that. Is it with a C? Yeah, double L? We only have one L. I'm not sure how to spell this word. Oscar. I've got a V. Oscillative? Yeah. So, how do you spell that? I'm just looking at the dictionary here. Once again, I think I left the dictionary up, so you probably can't actually see the clue that I'm talking about. But yeah, 8 says tending to vibrate. Ace violist gets jazzy. Got to get better at remembering to take that down. So if it's oscillative, I see it having a tendency to vibrate. So I think that works. Another long one that's good. So oscil, and then okay, so we've got a double L. There's only one L in the anagram. But we're told that unclued letters are not in the same cell in 2 clues. So this isn't the unclued L. This is the unclued L. Yeah. All right. 19 across. I'm looking for kind of short clues that we have some letters in. Supper in Perth, bread in Boston. I mean, Perth often refers to Scotland in these because it can mean this is a Scottish term. That's what my instinct's saying here. So maybe it's some kind of meal or supper, but a Scots word. Bread, that often means money because that's a slang term. Could just be bread. And then in Boston, I mean, that could be American, could just be Northern English, like Yorkshire. I think it's in Yorkshire, isn't it? Yeah. If it's American, then maybe a bill is kind of an American term for money. Is this what we want? So, yeah, so we've got North American banknote, so that's a good start. Do we have a Scottish, or theoretically an Australian for Perth version of the word bill? Ooh, not seeing it. No, don't see it anywhere. Okay, it's a shame. I don't know. Okay, let's look at 9 down. To view awry, schoolgirl errors accepted. Right. To view awry. So is that an anagram of to view? But then definition schoolgirl errors accepted. I don't even know what schoolgirl is going to mean here. Or if it's the definition to view awry. Yes, okay, that works. So if to view awry is the definition, that can be Miss C. So I think schoolgirl here is Miss. I assume that's a definition. And then errors accepted, I think EE. Not sure what context this comes from. But yeah, you see it there, errors accepted. It's just an abbreviation. So yeah, Miss C. And this didn't have any letters missing. So let's mark a T here. The first letter from the clue. 13 across. Okay, with this CS, this actually seems then that consumes gutted is actually what's happening at the end. So marmots, question mark, is our definition. So is there a kind of animal which marmots are a kind of, they're a rodent, aren't they? But then what do I do with your uncle? Oh, it's not Bob, is it? Bob's your uncle. Hold on, so it's a what am I looking at? Bowbacks. That is a bowback is a thing. Look at that, it's a species of marmot. That's great. So Bob's your uncle. And that is the answer. So, and this one didn't have any letters missing. So get a Y here? No, sorry, it did have an extra letter. The A. I just have it. That's why I got confused. I just have it in blue already from the down clue, but no, the A is extra. So let's do that. I need to switch to brush. Okay. Just looking at 5 across again. Is a tone a mood? So mood had being mood D backwards. So is there any chance that ad doom is the word we're looking for? It is a word. It is, again, Spencer. Okay, so poets in this case is Edmund Spenser, and it means to award. So, get so A and the mood. Okay, and this one doesn't have anything extra, so we do want an O here. I guess it's weird spelling M-O-K. Okay, I don't know what that could possibly be producing. I hope it's not wrong, but okay. We have here 14 down. We've got beginning with a B. Coins surprised expression in books. Coins can be, well, there's lots of coins. Surprised expression could be like maybe. In books, so maybe a book can be B, so maybe a B on each end. Do we need coins? Then coins ending in B seems a bit unlikely. Unless there's an S that isn't part of the clue. Can't think of a coin beginning with B though. So, okay, if that is the case, then it's B something BS. And the something is a surprised expression. What about like aha then? So, perhaps? Maybe? No. Okay. Yeah, not sure. What do I want to look at? 23 across ends in ED. Saltomi and Principe. Independence covered by dictionary with history. That's a lot. Okay, so when you see a country, they all have an abbreviation. And it's hard to see Sao Tome and Principe meaning anything other than that. I feel like it's ST is what I've seen it be. I'll check. Yeah, I can see it there. So Sao Tome and Principe is ST. Independence can be I. Covered by dictionary with history. Well, the definition has to be history, or it's not. Yeah. Although, what's with doing? Or with history? Is that the definition then? ST. Storied means you're having history. So, ST, you got I in there, covered by ORED. OED is the Oxford English Dictionary. So, what have we got? ST, OED, covering I, and that means the R is not in the wordplay. Cool. What do I want to look at? I don't think I've looked at 11. Vessel's contents without tea served with cream purely. This could be a vessel. Or vessel's contents is what? ESSE? Oh, we are beginning with ES. If it's essay essential? Purely could be essentially. How would that work? So NTIALLY. without T. Served, can that be an anagram indicator? I have no idea how that works. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Okay, what about 17? Sailor on a Mediterranean vessel. Sailor is often tar, because I can see the R in the third letter. Then on a, is a like Tarona a Mediterranean vessel? No. Let's just stick with this because on a could mean different things. Maybe like on can be re. No. Can on be two? No. Okay. I mean, tar could be wrong. Okay. And then 16. Okay, 16 across again because we reckon there's probably an E in the second letter from essentially. And that could be the T being the note from Do Re Mi. Provided concerning. I don't know where Italian would go into this. Just looking at 15 again. I did just have the idea of Ishtar. Just kind of jumped out at me looking at these letters because that is a goddess who, if you could drop the H, so if that was the case, then maybe it's I, then something not in the wordplay, then star. Or it could be something not in the wordplay, then I star. But again, this two down, we think this is probably an I, right? So but I'm not sure what this word could be. I mean, this letter doesn't come from the wordplay, so like. So I might just have to dictionary and see if I can find it. I might try some likely sounding things like instar. Yeah, there we go. So it's just the most likely sounding letter was an N. So the form of an insect between malt and malt. Yeah, I mean, between an I and ST there, like, not a lot of other letters actually make any sense. So yeah, it's a good place to start. But the N we said was not in the wordplay. So that's instar 15 across.